A lot of ideas in my head for what I was going to do because I don't have too many talents. A lot of it is musical. I can play a few different instruments. That's fine. Let me get that out of there. That's just not for me. I can show you how to do a C scale or any type of scale. I can show you suspended, D7. I can show you 7th chord, 9th chords, any of that. Not fun to me, but my passion is music. So I do have an updated version of a record player right here. So I want to show people how to use a record player. And I also own a phonograph, which it dates back to the 1800s. I mean, a long time ago, my father got me a phonograph. And they're not pressed as well as these will be, but let's see if I can get away with even putting a record on. I think I have one in here. So what you want to do, well, let's first turn this on. This is modern, so we want to make sure, there's a radio in it, etc., a bunch of nonsense. Back in the day when these were popular, that wasn't the case. So a vinyl album right here, what do I have here? I have Chet Atkins and his guitar. Okay, so the vibrations and sounds are imprinted into this disc. We'll call it a disc. There's other names for it that I have written down, but let me just go off the cuff, which it's kind of insane to think about. You just look at this. How does a needle going on this make noise? And I think a lot of people are still asking that question. So we put that on. Let's turn this back on. It is on. So you lift up the needle. I have a needle right here, a small needle. You can hear that right there. Okay. Click it. It's turning. Chet Atkins. Okay, let's turn that on. If I can figure out how to do that, there we go. Chet Atkins, one of George Harrison from the Beatles. That's one of his favorite guitarists. Actually, it's probably his favorite guitarist. Not too difficult to realize how this works. So we get that double-sided as well. Throw that on there. All you need to do is put the needle on the grooves. That's all. So let's try this. Boom, let's move that. We flipped it over. Beautiful, beautiful. These records are a very lost art form, so I would turn it that way to stop it from spinning, which I just did. I'm a big advocate for these albums. I have here's Blur, 1994, The Great Escape. Anyone knows that one? You got Park Life on it, all of that. Charmless Man, great album. Eric Burdon and the Animals. A lot of people get scared by these records because it's, I don't have a record player. I got this record player maybe 4 years ago. It's very easy to use. As you see, I just pulled out Eric Burdon, The Animals. They have some hits. People know, but they probably, say, oh, I don't know who that is until they hear it. So let's insert this back. You want to make sure you take care of your stuff. Chet Atkins. I got another Chet Atkins album here as well. Okay. Don't I seem fun to hang out with? Probably not. That seems very boring to most people. Let's go. Alright, so let's put that back in. Boom, boom. We got Eric Burdon, The Animals. As I said in the beginning, it's not spinning. You want to make sure it's spinning. You want the RPMs, rotates per minute, to be at the right. But here's another thing. You can speed it up or slow it down. There's easy ways to do that. And a lot of it just depends on the needle. and the spinning. If you spin it, let's see. Here, I can slow it down. I'll show you. So let's start Eric Burdon and the Animals. Better get straight. Okay, let me slow it down. Kind of creepy, right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to, but you can. You can slow stuff up, speed it down. If you remember in the 70s, even the 60s, I mean the 70s, they'd slow down Led Zeppelin, Beatles, they do all that. And then, you know, you hear this crazy stuff after that. Whatever, you don't have to do that. Using record player is very easy. And like I said, this is a modern record player because I can, kind of modern. I think what they tried to do with this is give it an old school feel because there's still FM and AM right on there. But it's not very digital, I will say. It's not very digital. Digital is way easier to use because, you know, you have to, where's this button, where's that button, you know what I mean? You have to hope that you're going on the right radio station. And with OCD, which I have, obsessive compulsive disorder, if it doesn't sound perfect, there's a problem. So that's a problem for me. I rather just mess around with the dial. Here we go, we have one more album here, Annie. It's a Hard Knock Life. Let's see if we can pull that out. I hope this doesn't get demonetized from YouTube, but we've done this twice already. Let's see. So we'll take this album, Eric Burdon and the Animals. What we do is we find the sleeve for it. Okay, these are, you know, these are very well taken care of artifacts at this point. I mean, you're thinking this came out maybe, what, 65? So you want to make sure that's taken care of. You put it in its sleeve like that. Okay, and let's find, perfect. Put it right there. And Annie we'll do next to end it off here. So track 2 would be Hard Knock Life, which everybody knows that song. So the grooves on the edge would make it track 1. The closer you get to the middle, the closer they become later albums. Got the big band going, obviously a Hard Knock Life. Okay, see, so that's how you move around. So I can skip the track by moving this needle up close. Different song, closer. Different song. Different song. And all I want to say is, how annoying would that be for us? That is very annoying. So you take your album out after you find, let's see, Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins, got 2 Chet Atkins. We got Eric Burdon and the Animals. We all love that. And here's the Annie. You want to put it in the sleeve every time you take it out. These vinyls will melt if they're too hot. I've been a victim of that. I had a Peter and Gordon album for a while, and that ended up melting, which really stinks because I love that group and I know Peter Asher pretty well. So I put that in backwards. You don't want to tip an album and have it fall out. So actually I might have done that already. Okay, Blur, 1994. That's probably the closest thing I have to actually being current. Anyways, anyone has questions about my album playing? Come talk to me. Thank you, everybody.